What's your name?
Chris?
No, not you, the one with the hair.
Rachel.
My name's Rachel. I love my hair. I wish I was covered in hair that is like what's on me head. Meh. What's your name?
Grant.
My name's Grant without the bands. I've got no banter. I'm Grant. What's your name?
Paul.
My name's Paul. I'm small. I like a ball and to draw. And where you from?
I'm from Newcastle.
My name's Paul. I'm small. I'm from Newcastle. I love the Tyne Bridge and I love Alan Shearer and NUFC and peas pudding. Is that right, Paul? Yeah. And what do you do?
I'm a plumber.
A plumber.
Yeah.
My name's Small Paul. I love the Tyne Bridge and Alan Shearer. I work with toilets and I stink of shit. Is that right, Paul?
I suppose so.
Yeah. What? So Frankie Boyle's funny, but I'm not funny? You've probably noticed the lists. I like lists. I love them, to be specific. Here's a list of the people I most want to date. Number 1, Matthew Hussey, dating expert. Number 2, Jennifer Lawrence, actor. Number 3, Sexy Shirley from your local Tesco Express. Or Tesco Metro. It's definitely not a Tesco Extra. Number 4, Aladdin from Aladdin. He's handsome, he's got a pet monkey, and I've always quite liked hummus. Number 5, I've left this space here open for anyone who will. For anyone who will date me, to be specific. Not that there's anything wrong with us. Is anyone in here single? I'll bear that in mind. Nice shoes, nice hair, nice eyes. Nice. I know I'm not perfect. My hands are shaking. I'm red and blotchy. I've got a dry mouth. That's because I'm full of adrenaline. I'm nervous or anxious, to be specific. It's a psychophysical reaction to an intimidating external stimulus. Fight or flight. But I don't do fights or flights. I just go red and get scared and think about crying. But I'm not just anxious about standing here. I'm anxious about life, about whether or not I might be balding, about me weight, about how often I bite me nails and whether there's a big pile of half-bitten nails lying somewhere in my stomach, and about whether that might give me cancer. They say that 1 in 2 people get cancer at some point in their lifetime, and it could be any day. I might have it now, it might be too late. I don't want to get cancer. I worry a lot about dating, about being 35 and not having a partner, and about what everyone thinks about that, and about not having kids, or not wanting to have kids, or everyone thinking that I should have kids, even though I hate the little bastards. I sometimes worry that one day I might go on holiday and I'll get into an accident, and I'll need to use my travel insurance to pay for the cost of my treatment, but on my application for the travel insurance, I'll have accidentally put the wrong address down. So my insurance will be invalid and I won't be able to pay for any treatment, and I'll be left to die alone in a hospital in a foreign country, and I'll have no one to talk to as I take my last few days, my last few hours, my last few breaths, and I'll be buried in an unmarked grave in some Bosnian village in the middle of nowhere. I think about whether there's a heaven, and if there is a heaven, they're not going to let me in, not if they know how much I love wanking. And now I'm starting to think that you all probably think I'm weird, when all I'm really doing is voicing my concerns in a mature and open-minded way without judgment, which is what an adult should do, really, shouldn't they? But what keeps me organised, what keeps my head straight is lists. To-do lists, top 10 lists, top 5 lists, shopping lists, household job lists. I've been working on a new list. This is my favourite 7 internet lists. Number 1, 13 ways to think yourself happy. Number 2, 34 weird and kooky things that other people totally do too. 3, 10 ways to stop being such a big fat mess. 4, 7 times The Simpsons was racist in ways that weren't really racist then. 5, 14 reasons why you really need to read this list. 6, 8 times Fred West was the world's best dad. 7, Matthew Hussey's top 10 ways to pick up a date. My favourite of them all is the last one. That's why I left it till last. Oh, number 7 to be specific. In this one, Matthew Hussey... What? What, ma'am? I'm talking about Matthew Hussey. He's the world's leading dating advice expert for women. Well, that's what his website says. No, very funny. He hasn't got any tips on how I can move out. 3 years isn't even that long. Because I find it helpful, ma'am. Just because my sister's married doesn't mean that I have to be married yet. I don't know, probably because she's pretty or because everyone likes her. I know you're proud of her. I know you are. I'm proud of her too. Yeah, well, if you're that proud of her, have her come and make you dinner. Say hello to Polly Puppet. Polly Puppet, say hello to everyone. Hello to everyone. No, say hello to the audience. Hello to the audience. Polly Puppet, don't just copy what I say. When I'm talking, why are your lips moving? Why are your lips moving? I don't have lips. I'm a sock. Have you got any jokes for us, Polly Puppet? You're a joke. Your life's a joke. I mean jokes with punchlines, one-liners. You're going to tell us a joke. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. This could go on forever. Your hollow existence is going to go on forever. Please. Fuck's sake. I went to a beekeeper and asked for 100 bees. He gave me 101. I asked why. He said the last one was a freebie. What has 4 wheels and flies? A bin lorry. I can't spell apocalypse. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. Who hates themselves? You. Knock, knock. Who's there? Sock. Sock who? Sock puppet. That was rubbish. You're rubbish and unattractive. And you're always irritating everyone with your mindless desire to please. You can't even point to Egypt on a map. You don't know which one's the Atlantic and which one's the Pacific. You had so much potential when you did fuck all with it. Absolutely fuck all. There's not one good bone in your body. Not one. You can't even wipe your own arse, never mind anybody else's. You're disgusting and you deserve to be unhappy. If you got hacked up into a million pieces and flung into the sea, nobody would give a fuck. Even the fish wouldn't want ya. Your mother's always been ashamed of you, and you're ashamed of yourself. And Billy never loved ya. And you're talking to a sock. Oh, so Nina Conti and Jeff Dunham are funny, but I'm not funny. I've tried to date a lot of people. 38 people in the last 365 days, to be specific. I've tried a lot of people and I've tried a lot of things. I've dyed my hair 4 times. I've undyed my hair also 4 times. I've tried to smile more, sweetheart. I've tried pottery classes, poetry classes, French classes, sign language classes, self-defense classes, book clubs, poetry clubs, working men's clubs, golf clubs, nightclubbing, seal clubbing. But what I've tried most of all is relationship seminars. So if you have a look under your chairs, someone should have an envelope under it. If you've got that, hold it in the air. Yeah. So you're going to be me. Well, not me, but just for a few minutes. And I'm going to be a relationship expert. Well, not yet, but in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, sad singletons. Welcome to How to Love After Being Hurt. Today we're going to be talking about pain. Not the pain of a hardcore booty-burning squat session at the gym. Not the pain of spending £100 to come to this seminar. But the pain of lost love, missing love, and the search for love. For those of you who are new to my seminars, my name is Frankie Lovebones. I'm here to put my love in your bones and my bones in your love. I am the #1 relationship counselor on the planet. I am the only man who can tell a woman where, why, and how to find love. We have a question from the audience from a lovely little loveless lady called Sam. Sam. Not so sexy, Sam. Can we have your question, please, Sam?
I'm sad, and I don't know how to fix it. And I think that love might help.
Wow, Sam. Can I first begin by saying how beautiful you are? How much you deserve happiness. How much you deserve to smile and frolic and love your life. And you can do all those things. You can do them in spades. But first, you gotta stop looking. See, but don't look. Listen, but don't hear. Think, but don't do. I am here as a man to tell you, a woman, that you don't need a man to tell you what you need. You're welcome.
Okay, but I don't think you're listening. I'm sad, and I've come here for your help.
I know you feel sad, Sam. But just because you feel sad doesn't mean you are sad. And let me tell you, and this might surprise you, but the woman you are describing is not the woman I see standing in front of me. You are a rose in a field of roses. You're welcome.
Listen, help me. I'm lonely and I'm unhappy and I don't know what to do.
What you need to do is this. You need to ask yourself, how?
I'm asking you how.
You're welcome. But I know that you know how, because you are beautiful, and you are strong, and you are beautiful, and you are a fighter, and you are beautiful. And this is where the piano music starts, and this is where you get all teary, because of the music and because I'm telling you how fierce and worthy and powerful you are. And you get all so wrapped up in your own emotions that you forget that I haven't even really helped you at all. But you felt better for just a little while, and that's what matters. Programs are on sale at the end of the show, £20 each or 2 for £30. Remember, be humble, don't be humble, always use Bumble. You're welcome. And those seminars didn't help either. So I had tried everything to no success. Or basically everything, to be specific. The last resort was laughter. Laughter is at the core of relationships. Couples in restaurants together, what are they doing? Laughing. Couples in rom-coms, what are they doing? Laughing. Couples, when you Google pictures of couples laughing, what are they doing? Laughing. What am I doing right now alone? Well, I'm not laughing. So I made a decision to be funnier, to make people laugh. If I could make someone laugh, I could make someone love me. And so comedy became a hobby, a focus, not an obsession, because that sounds too much, too heavy. It was a turning point in a positive way, not some sort of weird traumatic thing. It became a healthy, sensible, intelligent outlet for everything I wanted to achieve. And because when I was younger, me and my mum used to love watching comedians together, it seemed like a rational choice, or a logical choice, to be specific. So, here's a list of my 5 current favourite comedians. Number 1, Sarah Millican. 2, Michael McIntyre. 3, John Bishop. 4, Russell Brand. 5, Victoria Wood. Now, you don't seem to have been enjoying what I've been doing stand-up wise so far, so I'm going to give you the chance to choose what I do. So we're going to do a little vote. So if you want to see me do Sarah Millican, put your hand up. Michael McIntyre. Yeah, that's a popular one. John Bishop. Russell Brand. Victoria Wood. Okay, so Michael McIntyre at the Apollo it is. I've never towel dried me arse in my entire life. I don't need to. I don't leak water from me arse. But other men, they spend hours working away, going through dozens of fresh towels, and they don't do it in the corner against the wall. They're right out there in the open looking at you. Yes, I'm drying my arse now, and I see men put their pants on last, literally last. They come out of the shower. You know they're out there. Shirt goes on, everything's flapping around down there. Tie goes on, look who's still in town. Jacket, coat, scarf, top hat, yeah, baby shoes and socks. How is that even possible? What are you going to do? Sew your trousers on now. People dropping their keys. I saw one guy drying his pubic hair with the hand dryer. That should be illegal. Oh, so Michael McIntyre's funny, but I'm not funny. What, Mum? I'm not moping. I'm just thinking out loud. It's not depressing. Sorry. My first date with Billy was ice skating. I ruined it for myself, really. I spent the whole time worrying that someone was going to fall over, then I was going to fall onto them, and I was going to slit my throat on their skating blade. And I would bleed to death in front of Billy on a first date. Our first kiss was magical. Billy asked us for a kiss instead of just leaning in, which seemed weird to me at the time. But I suppose it was a nice gesture, or a nervous gesture, to be specific. Whatever it was, I'd been waiting for it. My first sex was all right, but it got better, a lot better. Our first flat was crap, but it didn't matter because it was ours and because we were together. All the mould and all the damp and all the rubbish neighbours were irrelevant because we had each other. And then it was time. The big day. Now, I don't know if you've ever told anyone that you love them, but it's horrible. Billy, this standoff has gone on long enough. I know what you're thinking, you know what I'm thinking. When are you going to say it? When am I going to say it? When is one of us going to say it? So, I'm going to say it first. I love you. I do love you, of course I love you. Say it back then. Billy, I know you love me, so you don't need to act all weird and shy about it, you idiot. That's okay. I can wait. Takes longer for some people, probably. Well, I don't love you, not properly. Well, I take it back then, I don't love you. It's probably just me being stupid. Billy, you can't leave me because I love you. Why don't you love me? Why don't you want to be with me? No, it does matter. It matters. We do. Maybe not as much as before, but we laugh a lot. We're always laughing. Billy. Just a little person and I'm looking for love. Someone to make me feel warm like a pair of gloves, or a hat, or a scarf, or a fluffy woolly jumper. If I had a girlfriend, I promise I definitely wouldn't want to dump her. Want to make people laugh and to make people smile, not make people sigh and then run away. I'm sorry that I don't like the way that I look, but someone else might with a bit of luck. I'm sorry that I'm useless and hopeless and sad. I'm sorry that my opinion of myself is so bad. I'm sorry that I'm sorry and I wish I was proud, and I wish I lived in a world where that was allowed. I wanna look in the mirror and go, get in, that's me. I don't wanna hinge my happiness on finding someone with whom I can make a way. I don't need money or cash or finances or wealth, just someone to help me to love myself. Oh, so Tim Minchin and Bill Bailey are funny, but I'm not funny. Hey, sis. Yeah, I'm in the house. No sign of a new place yet. I'm still trying to sort out a few things. It's all taking a bit longer than I thought. Of course I'm okay. When? Well, I'm not really very good with kids. Keeping things alive isn't really my forte. Well, I'm not busy, I'm not very good at it. Yours are lovely, and being an auntie is fine. But I don't really fancy changing any more nappies. I mean, with all respect, what's the point? Why would you want to change a nappy? Yours are lovely. They are from a certain perspective, but it's not really for me. I mean, if it was a dog, that's a different story. Or a cat, or even a tortoise. Literally anything, but just not kids. Not even yours, if I'm honest. So what I suppose I'm saying is no. No, you're right, I'm not helping. But you didn't help me much either, so as they say, thanks, but no thanks. When my sister got married, I accidentally wrecked the wedding. I wasn't doing much dating, but of course she gave me a +1, so I had to do some thinking. I tried Tinder, Hinge and Plenty of Fish. I consulted Matthew Hussey's ever reliable advice. I even thought about contacting Matthew Hussey himself. But instead, I took the Snoopster. So there he is, top table beside me. You got a meal, didn't you, Dr. Snoopo? And what did you have? Go and tell him. No, prawn cocktails aren't for wankers. The beef was quite dry, wasn't it? Do you remember when you left that floater in the church toilet and you blamed me? Who? Him? Yeah, he does look a bit like something from a photo fit. Look at you, you bunch of mugs, treating Snoopy like he's real. He's a stuffed toy. And you lot are sitting there pretending he's real. That's exactly the way my sister went on, as if I'd actually lost the plot. It was only a bloody joke. If you don't like that, you're not going to like what I did next. Has anyone seen Snoopy? Has anyone seen Snoopy? Snoopy! Oh goodness, I just can't seem to find Snoopy anywhere. Where could he possibly be? Oh, don't worry, here he is. Hey, Snoopy, haven't you grown? In walks, guess who it is? It's a giant life-size mascot-style Snoopy with a real person inside. And he's bumbling around, bumping into everything, bumbling over plates, falling into tables, ripping off the best man's wig. Nobody has a fucking clue what's going on. It's brilliant. The action stops. Snoopy calms down. He stands still, so too does time. Nothing happens. And this tense impasse seems to go on forever. You can hear a flower lapel pin drop. But then Snoopy peels off his head. And guess who's hidden underneath? It's the groom's ex-wife! So you're not laughing? No, neither was me sister. That's my sense of humour though. I got it from me mum. I mean, it's only a bloody joke. If there's one thing me mum always taught me, it's not to take anything too seriously. And I suppose I never have. Maybe that's why my sister always got the plaudits, the good job, the top bunk, the success. And that's why I'm here, just me, Matthew Hussey, and a load of bloody lists. This list is called Me in Numbers. 12. That's how old I was when I had my first kiss. French kiss, to be specific. By that, I mean that we used tongues, not that they tasted like a croissant. 19. That's how old I was when I first slept with someone. It was rubbish. Number 7. How many people I've slept with. Number 3. How many long-term partners I've had. Number 1. How many times I've been in love. Number 5. How many years I was a carer for me mum. Number 4. How many times I saw me sister in that same period. Number 54, on average, how many times I doubt myself every day. 54, how many times on average I doubt myself every day. Number 12, me dress size. It shouldn't matter, but it does. That one's not consistent, obviously, but I'm always consistently unhappy with it. 2, how many sex toys I own. Only one of them is a hand. 176, how many comedy shows I've watched in the past 365 days. 7, how many days a week I read my horoscope. 1, how many mams you get, even if they're not always perfect. Infinite, the number of things you can get used to if you have enough time. 27, how old I was when my life just stopped. 10, how many minutes are left in this show. 1, how many stand-up sets I have left. So, this is the end. And I know what you're thinking. Is it going to be a happy ending, like a shag at the end of a first date? Or is it going to end badly, like the decision to give birth to Boris Johnson? It's a funny old life, isn't it? For most of us, it's just birth, school, work, death. That's your lot. Maybe the odd shag at the appropriate interval. Not between birth and school, obviously. Maybe after work. Definitely not after death. Well, not unless you've met Ted Bundy. For a lot of my life, I actually preferred animals to people. They say that all that separates us from animals is the ability to touch our forefingers to our thumbs. That's it. Well, that, and I'm not afraid of the Hoover. When I was little, I really wanted to be a vet. I was completely obsessed with animals, dogs to be specific. My favourite things as a little girl were Snoopy, Scooby-Doo and Beethoven. I still can't believe that dog was deaf. Dogs are easy to deal with, aren't they? You just show them their leash and they're like, oh, yeah, buzzing, come on, let's fucking do this. I like crackheads for the outdoors. Oh man, I love walks. I'd give anything for a walk. I'd give up my house and my job and my family just for one last fucking walk. Oh, genuinely, you could cut off my balls just so I could go on a walk. Well, that's good to hear, because we may have a surprise in store. Do you ever consider what's going through your pet's head when you have to take them to the vet? Because we all know it's horrible. It's like a scene from a gritty prison drama. All the animals are eyeing each other up from their cages as if they're in solitary confinement or on death row. It's like a lawless land for these usually domesticated animals. Cat eyes up parrot. Parrot doesn't give a fuck. He goes, yo, bitch, you think you're tough? I'm so tough they locked me up for 18 years. Polly want a cracker? Don't call me a cracker or I'll put a bullet in your goddamn ass. Me mum once made us believe she got me a dog. She hadn't. It was just a ruse to make me stop constantly asking for one. She'd actually borrowed a neighbour's dog and let it stay overnight, then proceeded to wash me bedding in a soap powder she knew I was allergic to. So picture this. Child wakes up with rash, child gets taken to the doctor. Doctor breaks child's heart with devastating diagnosis. Oh, no, little Sammy, you're allergic to dogs. It wasn't until a couple of years ago at my sister's wedding that the truth finally came out about Darren the dog. My sister took great delight in breaking that news. Now I'm starting to think there wasn't even a real doctor's surgery at the bottom of the garden in my granddad's shed. I still think it's amazing though that the lollipop man was also a qualified GP. So the dog I wanted to care for, I never got. But I did get the chance to clean up shit and piss thanks to my mum's dementia. If you think having a cat or dog is hard work, try having a cat or dog that's 12 stone, bereft of gratitude, and belittles you every time you try to help it. But it wasn't all shit and piss. Some of it was shits and giggles, especially when she started replacing everyday words with the word jizz. She used to suffer from a condition called nominal aphasia. It's a condition where individuals can't retrieve words properly, or they replace words with other words. Ironically, she could never pronounce the term nominal aphasia, and instead would tell everyone she had phenomenal fantasia. Shopping lists were always a laugh. Pet, because it's compulsory for old Geordie women to start sentences that way. Pet, I need some milk, some bread, and a nice packet of jizz biscuits. Don't worry too much, she's dead now. As I said, birth, school, work, death. People don't like hearing the word dead, do they? They prefer passed away or no longer with us. don't they? Or lost. Why do people say that they've lost whoever's died? Oh, I'm so sorry you've lost your mum. I haven't fucking lost her. I know exactly where she is. She's in that box right now, and in 5 minutes she'll be on fire, and then tomorrow she'll be in a daft little vase. And they say these things at funerals, don't they? Like, what a great turnout. A great turnout. A great turnout's what you hope for at a blood bank or at your leaving do. Saying that, some leaving do's can be rubbish, can't they? Look at the Last Supper. That was the Messiah's leaving do and only 12 turned up. To be fair, the buffet was shit. At my mum's funeral, I convinced my sister, who's younger than me, by the way, to let me do the eulogy. It was essentially my first ever stand-up comedy set. So fuck it. I took the law into my own hands. As people started entering the church, I was standing at the door handing out t-shirts that said Mourners on Tour 2017. My sister was absolutely furious, but my mum would have loved that. She loved to laugh. I also wore a mask of my mum's face. I kept going up behind people and whispering things like, Pet, have you tried the jizz sandwiches? Pet, what about the jizz trifle? My sister's little one was screaming and crying in absolute terror. She would have loved that, me mum. She loved to laugh. And we love a drink at funerals, don't we? Like my sister's husband. He's a complete dickhead. Sorry, I mean craft beer connoisseur. Have you ever gone into one of those gentrified pubs and said to the barman, why don't you just surprise us? And they serve you a pint in a gravy jug with a wedge of turnip floating in it, and you go, I must admit, that is a bit of a surprise. And they say that's not the surprise, and then they set it on fire and charge you £9 for it. Another thing about bars, why is it we always choose a bar for a first date? You can spot a first date a mile off, can't you? It's always the tables with the big fake laughs. Thank God you look like your Tinder pictures. I think I'm going to go for the vegetarian option. What are your thoughts on the proportional representation voting system and its potential pros and cons? I've had some shit first dates. But the shittest of them all is when we literally did a shit in his pants. We'd had a lovely meal, conversation was flowing, and we'd extended the date with a nice little riverside walk. It was quite sweet actually, because he felt comfortable enough to tell me that he needed the toilet, in his own words, quite urgently. So there we were, rushing and weaving our way through the crowds, trying to reach the promised toilet bowl. And I darted across some traffic lights, and I was running faster than him, but he was trying to hold in a turd after all. I stopped, looked back. He was on the other side of the road. The lights were just about to turn. I urged him to cross. He cried, "It's too late!" I said, "No, you can make it, come on!" And he said, "No, it's too late." But as much as he was desperate for a shit, I was desperate for a shag. So with a little bit of sweet talking, I managed to convince Mr. Poopy Pants to come back to mine. We got back and my mum was still awake and she was in good spirits. They seemed to get on quite well. But before I had the chance to drag him upstairs and have me wicked way with him, she grabbed him by the arm and said, "Pet, if you fancy a nightcap, there's a big bottle of jizz in the fridge." He left. He left me over a big bottle of jizz when I was willing to stand by him with a big log in his trousers. Who needs a partner anyway when you can have a wank instead? Sex is all right, but you can't beat the real thing. My dates used to go wrong because I would bring them home to meet my mum. Then they went wrong because I would take my mum to meet them. But now, I think it's about time I found something else to do. Something that takes all life's shit and turns it funny. I love a laugh, thanks to you. But it's time I move on. So if anyone's looking for a comedian, get in touch. Until then, as my mum would have said, good night and good jizz. "35. how old I was when I decided to start my life again. Sorry, can I just hold that a second? Thank you. There's me mum.